Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Codi Bigsby. Okay, he was one of 4 boys living with his father, Codi Bigsby. His father was 42, turning 43 at the time. He had one older brother, age 5, and then twin younger brothers. This happened in Buckroe Beach, Hampton, Virginia. So if there's anyone in the area, welcome to you. I hope you'll keep your eyes wide open because this little boy still needs to be found. His remains need to be found. He needs to be brought home to his family. Algoma1, thank you for being a member for 11 months. So yes, it takes place Buckroe Beach, Hampton, Virginia on January 31st, 2022 at approximately 9 a.m. Cody reported Cory missing to the Hampton Police Department. His father said that he was last seen. Now, that's really odd. His father said he last saw him at 2 a.m. when he was fast asleep in bed. But then he also said he last saw him wearing all black clothing and in Spider-Man flip-flops. Like, isn't that a bit strange? Because obviously he wouldn't be wearing flip-flops in bed, right? Oh, man. So you could see this missing person flyer of Codi Bigsby that was shared everywhere, all over social media, all over Twitter. There's big groups on Facebook as well. People have been looking for Cody for a long time. So they say age now 5. That was 1/31/2022. And they say location last seen. According to police, Cody was last seen in the 100 block of Ranelette Drive at the Buckroe Point townhomes in Buckroe Beach. According to police, Cody was last seen in the 100 block of Ranelette Drive at the Buckroe Point townhomes in the Buckroe area of Hampton. Officers were called to the home just after 9 a.m. on Monday, January 31st. When they arrived, Cody's father, Cory, told them the child was last seen around 2 a.m. that day. So at the time, everyone was wondering, well, what happened between the time that you last saw him and when you reported him missing? It was like 7 hours had passed because he said he last saw him at 2 a.m. January 31st, and then he called the police around 9 a.m. Circumstances of disappearance. Cory was charged on Thursday, February the 3rd, with 7 counts of child neglect after previously being named a person of interest in the case of his missing son, Cody. Hampton Police said his timeline for Cody's disappearance didn't match the evidence collected. So from day one, the police, they had their red flags flying, And of course, the dad's family is kind of upset with that because they think that they're out to get him or pinning this on him or things like that. So remember, he's innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. And at the moment, he's actually going through a whole lot of mental health evaluations. So, but yes, the police were like, this timeline isn't adding up. Things are not adding up here. Okay, so let's continue on. The same day that the family was scheduled to move into a new house. When it's one of those, when it's like on the same day that they were supposed to move out is the day he decides to report Cody missing. Oh, man. That was also a red flag, Yes, Sarah Jean, welcome to everyone that's been following the case closely. You say they've even found blood in the house or room that was Cody's. Jean, me too. I was also thinking of, sorry, the chat's flying there. I was also thinking of the Quentin Simon case. Yes, it reminds me of this as well. So then on January 31st, 2022, the Hampton Police held a press conference to ask the community for help in locating 4-year-old Codi Bigsby. The police used drones, search and rescue dogs, cadaver dogs, searchers on foot, volunteers, and every resource available to search for little Cody. They've still not been able to locate him. Police have asked for surveillance video from the area. The FBI also got involved immediately to assist in the investigation. They combed through dumpsters, bodies of water, and scoured the neighborhood for clues. So this is the police chief, Mark Talbot, from the press conferences. I'm not going to play all the press conferences now because we'll be here forever, but I do have some clips to show you after this presentation. So he said, we are interested in any, and this still is valid, you guys. So if you live in the area, if you're around there, they said, we are interested in any video that anybody might have of something that they believe could be related. We aren't convinced that it happened at exactly when we found out about it. So if anybody out there believes that they have video or information that could be related to Cody's disappearance, we want to see it as quickly as possible. So that is still valid. If there's any ring cam footage or anything from, however, we're going to learn 7 months before. That's very important. From June 2018. Oh, no, not 2018. From June of that, 7 months before. So he was reported missing January 31st, 2022, June 18th, 2021. It's just unbelievable to think that all these resources were used. They're like, oh my word, he went missing now in the timeline, and asking for that footage. It's another one of those that thought he's very smart by reporting his son missing, from what I can gather, 7 months later. And we only just found that out this week, which is why I'm reporting on the case now, because I'm like, damn, after following all that, I'm like, whoa, only this week did they indict him, the dad, on murder charges. And the date was very interesting. Thank you so much, Stefan. June 2021. It's very hot here today. You can see. I'm just like, wait, what? Thank you, yes. Okay, so continuing on now. And welcome, everyone. If you're only joining now, we are looking at the case of Codi Bigsby, who went missing. Claimed to have gone, the father said he went missing in January of 2022. But really, it was 7 months before that. Yes. So they said teams in hazmat suits searched dumpsters in the area while Cori voluntarily went to the police station for questioning. And this case has had a lot of controversy and contention and things in it. It's been quite a rocky road, especially the whole, he went to the police station voluntarily, apparently so, but once he was there, they held him there for many hours and did polygraph tests, and he was denied an attorney, and then the police said he wasn't denied an attorney, but then it turns out he was. So there was all kinds of stuff. So it's actually quite amazing that the case hasn't been dismissed and it's still going on, and they're still fighting for justice for little Cody. Yes. Debbie C says, we are surrounded by water here. There's no telling what he did with him. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes. Okay. Yes, we're going to get to those neglect charges as well. So who is Cory Bigsby? They say he's a father of 8. At the time, we know that it was Cody and the younger twin brothers and an older 5-year-old brother. So 4 kids living in the house with him. So I'm not sure where the other 4 are. If you're local and you know, please let me know. But they say father of 8 is a retired U.S. Army veteran. He was an operations sergeant, and they say he was honorably discharged. But later I found out that really he had like an AWOL charge as well in the military. So I'm not sure if that had to do with his discharge or if he just went AWOL or what. But of course that posed a huge flight risk, which is also why he wasn't let out of jail. Yes. Ryan says, I have not heard about this one. Thanks for covering it. I'm so glad. If you've never heard of it, I'm so glad that you're hearing it for the first time, and I hope that you will share it so that others can learn about it as well. I'm Not T-Pain says, I'll never understand how any parent could do that to their children. I will never understand how anyone could do anything bad to a child. Yeah, same. We're going to get to where the mom was and everything as well. So, yes, he was denied an attorney. He asked twice. Oh, my word. We'll look at those clips too. So, and the police admitted it later. Okay. So he was honorably discharged in 2017 and was receiving approximately $1,700 per month in retirement payments. People who were stationed with him described him as easygoing and quiet while he was in the Army. Cody's mother was also apparently an Army veteran, and she is stationed in Washington, D.C. The only thing I found on her is that her name could be Dina, but there's not a lot of information to find on her. I think it's because she's probably in the Army. Is that what it is? Because I don't know. But anyway, she's apparently in Washington, D.C. Now, in 2018, she filed an assault charge against Cori, saying that she tried to defend herself by grabbing a knife, and that Cori then proceeded to bite and choke her. Whoa. So I understand that she got out. She left probably for safety is what I'm trying to read between the lines here, but it's so sad that those 4 kids were left there, and I'm not sure. I've seen a whole lot of things on Facebook, of course, which we have to take with a pinch of salt, but there could have been a custody battle, or he may have moved and then changed his number and then she couldn't find him. It's all kinds of things like that. I'm not too sure, right, about what was happening there. But they say Dina refused to cooperate or appear in court based on those charges. So the case was, and I don't know how to really pronounce that, not nol prost. It was, they never continued on this assault charge case, unfortunately, because she didn't want to appear in court or cooperate, which I would assume, and I'm only assuming and speculating, would be fear-based, right? The police said, we believe they are the key to figuring out where he is or where he might be. So, yes. Debbie C says he admitted he left kids alone prior to asking for the attorney, but they did change judge. Exactly. We're going to get to that now as well. Indeed, that's true. So this is just from his LinkedIn page that I got the screenshot. Cory Bigsby, Operations Sergeant at U.S. Army, is what he said there. Okay, so to continue on, the timeline. It's timeline time. Cory admitted that he left the kids, all under the age of 6, home alone for hours on several occasions. So this is how they nailed him the first time. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, neglect charges. Okay, so they managed to arrest him like that while they're still looking for Cody. You could see that banners were put up, flyers were distributed. The community's been very active, very proactive, and still having candlelight vigils and everything ongoing, right? So anyway, back to Cory admitted that he left the kids, all under the age of 6, unattended, no babysitter, just left them at the house, home alone for hours on several occasions. On December 13th, 2021, he actually left the 3 youngest children at home to go and buy a vehicle in Norfolk, saying that the children were too much of a burden to take out with him when he leaves the home. Okay, but you're their dad, and you're, by the sounds of it, a single dad. Too much of a burden? Can't just leave kids like that, oh my word. They were twins, they were age 2. And then there was Cody, aged 3 at the time of his actual disappearance, but when reported missing 4. And then a 5-year-old. You're just going to leave them all there? Just like, it's just too much of a burden to take them along. Oh man, yes. Debbie C says, our community has searched and searched. I've seen you guys have been amazing. And I've seen you continue to search. Yes. Thank you so much, Richardson family. So, wow. So in December, these are things that he admitted. You see, in this interrogation with the police, he said, yeah, he left them there. And he made these statements, right? They're just too much of a burden to take with him when he leaves the home. And on January 25th, 2022, 6 days before he reported Cody missing, he also left the kids at home for a few hours. Then, on January 31st, 2022, Cody was reported missing. The police took Cory in for questioning, which lasted several days and included polygraph tests, and they seem like real ones, not fake ones like Letitia Starr. They did polygraph tests on him as well. Bigsby's defense team argued that his constitutional rights were violated and he was mistreated when he was questioned by police right after he reported Cody missing. During the several hours of questioning, they say that the father wasn't asked to take a rest or sleep, and it was never made clear that he could leave at any point. So they say if you know anything, you're asked to call the crime line at 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP, 1-888-562-5887, or submit a tip online at p3tips.com or via the P3 Tips app. So if you still, to this day, if you're watching this and you know something, please say something. It could really help to find Cody. And I know at this point they're saying the father's been indicted on murder charges, but still he needs to be buried properly. And, yes. Okay, so before I continue on with this presentation, let me just see where we're at now. Okay, I want to...
Any video that anybody might have of something that they believe could be related, we aren't convinced that it happened at exactly when we found out about it. So if anybody out there believes that they have video or information that could be related to Cody's disappearance, we want to see it as quickly as possible.
You can see the truck here behind me parked along Research Drive. Today's search area centered around the woods and a business park near Langley Air Force Base. Nearly 3 weeks later, the search continues for 4-year-old Cody Bigsby. Members of Water Team Inc. taking to the woods in Hampton looking for any sign of the little boy whose story immediately struck Jarena Dixon.
I have a baby that's 3, and as my motherly instinct, something compels me to keep going. Like, it's the pit of my soul. It's affected me like a lot.
Dixon volunteering her time on a Saturday to search. The same as close to a dozen others who came out to this business park off Neil Armstrong Parkway this morning.
So we started off on the woods here behind us. We covered 2 groups there. We pushed over to this section. It's just a very good piece of property.
One that happens to be several miles from where Cody lives at Buckroe Point Apartments. But Joe Slabinski, who founded this search organization, says the location isn't too far when you consider all possibilities of what might have happened to the little boy.
What changed our focus was the fact that the police put out a call for anybody that has seen Cody since early November. That changes the dynamics of what you're potentially looking for. You have to take into account something could have been put in the environment and then covered over by leaf matter.
To cover as much ground as possible, a strict method of searching.
The team right now is completely composed of military vets, most of us combat vets. We have a sense of getting through the woods.
Eyes and hearts focused on a 4-year-old boy this community so desperately wants to find.
And, you know, bring closure to everyone.
And it doesn't matter how long it's been since Cody was reported missing, this team says they won't stop searching until this case is resolved. In Hampton, Anthony Sabella, News.
Moving on to the status of the investigation, I'm going to provide some clarification on the person of interest in this case. The person of interest in this case is Cody's father. His name is Cory Bigsby. He is a 43-year-old Hampton man. At the conclusion of this press conference, his photo is going to be available for you on our Twitter platform for your reference. Cory is still with us at police headquarters. He is there voluntarily and he is choosing to answer our questions. Here's what we need from the public. We're still seeking information on Cody's last known whereabouts. We're also seeking information on his father's whereabouts. Any information that you have could potentially be of value. We're seeking information specifically regarding where he goes, where he shops, who he's with, and what he does. We're also asking for residents of the Old Buckroe neighborhood and surrounding areas to check their own property. Residents are much more familiar with their own property. They would be more likely to spot something that's out of place or suspicious. And in that case, if you find something that you believe to be suspicious, contact police and we'll send someone out to you.
On February 3rd, Cory Bigsby charged with 7 counts child neglect in jail without bond. This neighbor not surprised by that.
Not at all.
Why?
Because all I ever heard was crying all hours of the night, day, just yelling. Kids.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it there for a second. So this is a neighbor talking about what he heard and saw. Wow, which was just like, oh my word. Okay, so I just quickly want to, we are at 4:07 there. I just quickly want to do this. Thank you so much, WFO Carter 84. You say hardest working awesome lady on YouTube, no doubt. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's going to go to my watermelon fund. Thank you so much. And Nancy B. Wild, thank you for being a member for 8 months. You say Grizzly's the best show on true crime on YouTube. Thank you so much. Dana Bullbrock, thank you for your Canadian $2.20. He has black blank eyes. Yeah. So let's continue on there. We're going to look at more of this presentation. I just want to show you the clips from, when the police said that he was... If they had asked him, do you need an attorney, or if he had asked for one and they would have said yes, but he didn't ask for one. Then later they're like, whoops, he did ask for one twice. So that was quite interesting as well. Okay, so let's go back to the clips.
We are.
Dad was sometimes gone.
It seemed like he was crying all hours of the night, day, just yelling. kids mad, not adults yelling. It would be children, you know, they'd be crying, stomping on the floor. It's hardwood floors, you hear it.
The neighbor would bang back on the walls.
But when I was loud enough, if I mocked them, it would stop, which was infuriating. It's just, if you know that daily, it's the same thing. I didn't know that it was a bunch of children that young. I had no idea, but it was constant and consistent.
It was clear the children had run of the upstairs and Dad was sometimes gone.
It seemed like he was just absent. Like the kids just free will between the front room and the back room. I think that was what they were allowed to have, was this room and that room, and that's all you ever heard.
The neighbor said this about the children and never seen them. Did you ever see the kids out in the yard playing?
No, and I would yell through the wall, let them go outside. Like, I would yell through the wall. Like, no kidding. Why can't they, we have fields.
The only time he saw the children, one time, up in that window, standing on that dresser.
I seen them one time when I was leaving out my apartment, maybe a year ago, maybe even longer. And they were standing on the dresser. Both of them were in diapers and just standing there, waving.
Investigators have stopped by a few times, most recently Thursday.
Again, yesterday, two female officers came yesterday. Pretty much asking the same questions, following up, making sure that I'd already been seen by the FBI and I've already been seen by the police. And they got my information also. So I've given them my information multiple times.
Mr. Bigsby is a 43-year-old man who's had a full career in the Army. He retired from a position of authority. He seems to be quite intelligent. He seems to be quite capable. And part of his capabilities seems to be understanding his rights. At no time did he request to see an attorney.
So you heard that. They said at no time did he request to see an attorney. But then that was based on what the police chief said was bad information given to him, because he truly believed that at no time did he ask for an attorney. Then they reviewed all the interrogation footage and they realized, crap, he asked for an attorney twice. Okay, so you'll see a different statement right after this.
Had he made such a request, we would have honored that request. That I believe was mishandled by the Hampton Police Division. He made a statement that indicated that he wanted to have legal counsel there with him. My assessment is that his desires should have been honored. They weren't. We are interested.
Okay, so you could see there, they said, whoops. So I'm so glad that they did not mess up the entire case. I'm not sure that Cory's family is so glad. They're feeling like it's red flags from the police, but I think the police have done their best, and that was a big mistake there, but they owned up to it, right? So, yeah. But so what happened was they actually wanted to dismiss all the statements made in his interrogation video, but then the judge said all the statements before the time when he asked for an attorney, those will remain. They're not just going to throw out everything, right? So that's how they were still able to hold him on the neglect charges. Dawn Schaefer says, whenever we see any sus treatment of others, especially children, say something, do something. Better to have angry neighbors than missing kids. Yes, thank you so much, Dawn. And also, there was a message from earlier. Tina, thank you for being a member for 6 months. And you say such a sweet baby, so sad. Yes, okay. So to continue on with our presentation with the timeline, right? We just saw those clips, which I think was important for context as well. On December 13th, we know about December 13th, he left the kids at home, and on January 25th, and then on January 31st, Cody was reported missing. The police took Cory in for questioning, which lasted several days and included polygraph tests. Bigsby's defense team argued that his constitutional rights were violated and he was mistreated when he was questioned by police after he reported Cody missing. During the several hours of questioning, they say the father wasn't asked to take a rest or sleep, and it was never made clear that he could leave at any point. And then the issue with the attorneys came up as well. Geneva Lopez, thank you so much. Is that for coffee? I see the coffee there. Thank you so much for your $3.99 super sticker. I really appreciate it. So let's continue on and look at more of the timeline. The police said that Cori, as you just heard, was an adult being interrogated voluntarily and he did not ask for a lawyer. Video evidence proved that he, in fact, did ask for one twice and those requests were denied. On February 3rd, 2022, Cori was arrested and charged with 7 counts of felony child neglect, the result of leaving the kids at home in those 2 instances. Because the first time he said he left 3 kids at home and the next time he said he left 4 kids at home, so they added those 7 instances together, from what I understand, and they said he was charged with 7 counts of felony child neglect, right? Then the other 3 boys were taken into the care immediately of CPS, which of course was more red flags for everyone, like, whoa, this is really getting hectic now. It's escalating quickly. Like, firstly, they right off the bat, taking him for questioning, keeping him for 4 days, arresting him and charging him with the 7 counts of felony neglect, taking the children into CPS care, and then naming the primary person of interest as well. So police asked for more information about anyone seeing Cody since December 25th, 2021, and they wanted more information on Cori's habits and movements, and they still want that, right? The thing is, I could see that they shifted. They're like, wait, he must have disappeared before that January 31st, 2022 call. So they went back to December. Then they shifted it back a little bit to November, and so they went. As the time went on, I could just see they were going, further and further back, and it seems now they've landed on June of the year before, 7 months before he was reported missing, 2021. Web Weaver 68 Watermelon Fund. Thank you so much. It's summer, you guys, in the Netherlands, just like it is in the Northern Hemisphere, right? In America and everywhere. And yes, I need watermelons, okay? Stacy's mom says, so sick of criminals. Okay, and so Jean says, is this all 7 months later? This is the thing. This is the timeline we knew, right? Like, okay, he was reported missing January 31st, 2022, and then we worked it from there. And they're like, wait, let's just go a little bit back to December. And now they had to go back 7 months all the way. And they now said that he's indicted on murder charges. So that's very hectic. So then they say Sharice Howard with the We Are Cody's Voice search group said the case is losing focus. This is turning into a circus. Howard said one of the key things that was the main concern is, where is Cody? We're not concerned about how long he was being questioned or the time frame. The time frame is, where is this child? You're wasting time. Be a man. Stand up. Admit something happened, but don't keep dragging this out. They say the trial date initially was set for last year, November. Okay, but then it was delayed, moved, shifted, postponed, changed. Why? Because of mental health evaluations and all sorts of other things as well, but mostly that. So now we're not sure exactly when it will be, but there's big delays. They're busy with the 3rd mental health evaluation now. There's actually a hearing this week, Wednesday, coming up on is it the 14th? Is it Wednesday? The 14th, yes, Sunday is the 11th, 12th and 14th. Wednesday. There's a hearing for his mental competency to stand trial. Janet Murphy, thank you for your $1.49 super sticker. Really appreciate it. And Tina for watermelons. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Debbie C says it was a circus in the beginning. Lots of drama. Yes, I saw that. It was very hectic. So then, when Cori's attorney asked where Cody was, he said he didn't know and turned all information he had over to the police. The judge denied the defense's motion to throw out the interrogation video evidence ahead of Cori's trial in what was supposed to be last November. Cori was denied bond on February 8th, 2022 already. The judge said that he was concerned about a previous AWOL military conviction and about Cori's alleged violent assaults on the mother of the children. On February 14th, 2022, Police Chief Talbot admitted that Cori was denied his request for an attorney during his 7-hour interrogation. Information shared before those requests were made are still valid in court. Just to rehash that. The entire bench of the judges recused themselves. You could see this case was very dramatic. It was like really rocky road, okay? The entire bench of judges recused themselves on February 17th, 2022. Michael Gayton, Chief Judge for the Hampton Circuit Court, disqualified the judges of the 8th Judicial Circuit Court from hearing Cory Bigsby's case. So they don't want to take any chances. After that, with the interrogation video and everything that they knew and saw and everything, they're like, okay, brand new pool of people seeing this case. On April 13th of 2022, Cory Bigsby's attorney, Jeff Ambrosi, files a motion to withdraw from the case. The motion lists an ethical conflict has arisen that precludes further representation as the reasoning. So then, he even got a new attorney. Oh, yes. Okay. So we continue on. Welcome. If you're only joining the stream now, I hope you'll watch the replay so you can see everything from the beginning. Jane says, how did he have custody of all those kids? I don't know. I don't know either. On April 26th, yes, Cory got a new attorney. Okay, April 26th, 2022. New attorney, Amina Matheny Willard. Cory's attorney filed a cease and desist claiming the Hampton police chief and other officials engaged in a conspiracy to harass the Bigsby family, obstruct justice, and tamper with a jury in a criminal case. On June 13th of 2022, bond was denied. Again, the case, they said, is being sent to trial. Then, on July 6th of 2022, Cory was indicted on 30 charges of child neglect, not related to Cody's disappearance. This was all completely separate. All they knew was that Cody was missing. All this other stuff is things that they could charge him with based on what, the statements he made, what they said, what they found, all that kind of stuff. He could face up to 162 years in prison just for these charges. Then we get to August of 2022. Cory made statements in jail to a correctional officer at the Hampton County Jail that, number one, got the police and the FBI searching an outdoor area in Maryland, and number two, got a competency evaluation requested. Cody's body was not found in that area, but, important, the statement led to the latest murder charges. So whatever the hell he said there, whatever the FBI and the police know about what he said there that, of course, probably only he would know. Maybe they're pairing with information they know. That is how these new grand jury indictment charges came about. So they did take it to a grand jury, a secret grand jury. Grand jury indictment's always secret. But he has a secret grand jury indictment, and he was indicted on murder charges. But it followed from this, from him making statements in jail to a correctional officer. Yes. I'm just checking what you guys are saying. Right on Josephine says mothers were not in the picture due to jail. I don't know. The mother of Cody is serving in the army. She's stationed in Washington, D.C., from what I understand. So she's made a couple of statements along the way as well. So August 2022, that's what happened. That's what really the case changed then after those statements. So this is what we have now. These documents literally just came out. And I'm like, what? When I saw this, what? It was like such a shock, because it's been like really long. It's been like, oh my word, what's going to happen? Where is Cody? What's happening? So they said in the circuit court for the city of Hampton, okay, June 5th, 2023, the grand jury charges that, now look at the date. I even underlined it for you. On or about June 18th, 2021. I had to do a double take when I saw that. I'm like, what? June 18th, 2021. In the said city, Cory Bigsby Sr. did unlawfully and feloniously transport, secret, conceal, or alter a dead body as defined in those codes with malicious intent and to prevent detection of an unlawful act or to prevent the detection of the death or the manner or cause of death in violation of those codes in the Code of Virginia as amended. Wow. Yeah, it's a sad picture of him. Shame. So his body's not been found. Virginia code is there. Witness sworn in court. Let me just quickly get the document over here as well. Just hold on one second. I just want to show you the second page because I didn't have it in here. So there that is. And here they say Virginia in the Circuit Court for the City of Hampton, June 5th, 2023. The grand jury charges that on or about June 18th, 2021, in the said city, Cory Bigsby Sr. unlawfully and feloniously did kill and murder Cody Bigsby. Those were terribly painful words to read. In violation of the Code of Virginia as amended. That was a shock this week. As I look at the date, it came out dated June 5th, 2023. Today is only the 11th. And that's when it's dated. I think it only came out like 2 days ago or so. And I'm like, what? maybe a little longer. I don't know. Time flies, you know, especially in true crime, my word. But I'm like, whoa, this is so recent. I'm like, oh my word. They literally said that they unlawfully and feloniously did kill and murder Codi Bigsby. No. Terrible. So, okay. So that's what we have there. So he's presumed deceased. Then I just wanted to show you these little screenshots that I've got. You could see, never mind the legal battles, the ups and downs. This has been a roller coaster emotionally, right? This case, oh my word. But then they also said there were bones found, like in a blanket, and it proved to be animal bones. So they were first like, oh my word, we found this in this area, and everybody was freaking out. But then they located the remains, and they were non-human, belonging to an animal. Cody Bigsby's mother released a statement to Wavy, and it said, at this present time, I do not wish to take part in any telephone, television, or social media interviews. My reluctance is based on the upcoming trial, and the questions asked are questions that will be addressed in court. In addition, I've been advised by legal counsel not to address the public. However, I would like to speak to the support of the community. I sincerely appreciate all the volunteers, rescue workers, police, FBI, news reporters, the community at large, family, friends, and everyone who's showing love and support for Cody. It truly warms my heart. I'm praying for the safe return of my baby boy, Cody. And I hope the public and the community understand and respect my position during this tragic time. There, they also said a child's jacket and tire marks were found in the area where Cody was last seen. Cori's, I think it's his sister. The family said that initially when they searched, you know, that area, it was covered in snow. So now she's saying, she said in an interview, how can they now be tire marks? And the jacket wasn't there. Now there's a jacket and tire marks. I worry about that. Who placed that there? Or maybe what is going on there? You know? Is it a deflection, or did something else happen to someone else? As we know, lots of children sadly go missing all the time. I don't know about in that area. I know there was another one, Noah. Can't remember his last name. But that was also interesting at some point of like, what? So, yes, as you can see. And that fence there is called Cody's fence, and people go and put like stuffed animals there and inspiring messages, encouraging messages and things like that. Yes. So Amanda Page says the animal bones were found in the ground, buried like you would a beloved pet that passed away. Yes. So remember in the Kylie Rodney case, the same thing happened where the FBI went to those campgrounds, and then they also dug something up, and then everyone was freaking out. They crime scene tape and all went up as well, and they were like, oh, okay, my bad. It was an animal. So in that case, I feel very sorry for the people that buried their pet then, you know what I mean? But yes. Okay. T and Wildflower says his little eyes are speaking volumes. Yeah. And Texas Angel says, I remember when animal bones were found. Okay, so we can see that. And then on June 5th, 2023, Cori was indicted on second-degree murder charges and charged with also concealing a dead body. Cody would have been 3 years old then at the time that the new charges say he was murdered. So in June of 2021. An aunt of Cody said that she last spoke to him 13 months before he was reported missing, which was around Thanksgiving or Christmas of 2020. A typical grand jury in Virginia consists of 7 members, and votes don't have to be unanimous. In March of 2023, Bigsby was transferred from the Hampton Roads Regional Jail to the Eastern State Hospital in Williamsburg for a restoration process in hopes that it would help restore his mental capacity to be able to stand trial. A hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, June 14th, 2023 for Cori, which relates to his mental evaluation to assess the efficacy of Cori Bigsby's mental health treatment regime at Eastern State Hospital. During Cori's last court appearance, he was determined mentally unfit to stand trial by one of the doctors, but then they said that doctor wasn't an official one that was listed. So then they said another one said that he actually was fit, and it's been a whole battle as well. That's been a battle too. And that reminds me a little bit of Letitia, right? Of just like, oh man, the delays with all of this. Then, for anyone asking, but they haven't found a body. So how will this play out in court? The answer is as long as there's enough circumstantial evidence of a jury to infer that the victim is dead and the defendant is guilty, then yes, the defendant can be charged and convicted of murder. We saw that as well with Sincere and Classic Pettis, also known as Orrin and Orson West in the media. So, makes sense. Okay, so thank you, Janie. You say shout out to you, Grizzly, from East Texas. This is a picture of the fence as well. The Cody fence, a memorial honoring Cody in Hampton near Buckroe Point Apartments, continues to grow. That's when News 3 met Nancy Strickland, the organizer of We Are Cody's Voice. And Nancy's done a lot from what I could see. Organizing a lot of candlelight vigils and, you know, this fence and just keeping the community going. So shout out to Nancy Strickland, the organizer of We Are Cody's Voice. She shared her emotions about the charges, which would be on a video clip, which we'll look at. I think I've got one pinned here for you after this, so just hold on 1 second. Shame. Cody, oh my word. So yes, Corey's mother said, it truly warms my heart. I'm praying for the safe return of my baby boy, Cody. I hope the public and the community understand and respect my position during this tragic time. Obviously preparing for the trial and to testify there. Cori apparently, well, this is interesting. Cori apparently wrote a letter to his attorney in jail. But she says it's nonsensical and bizarre. Now, this is reminding me of freaking Roberta Laundrie's letter. Like, what letter is it? Are we going to see this letter? What is it? Amina Matheny Willard had filed a motion to dismiss the case against Bigsby based on the discovery of this letter. She said it changes the course of his trial and shows deteriorating mental health. She said it was not a confession or a suicide note, but would not say any more. She asked a judge to seal the letter. Yes, Wavy TV. Yes, Aaron, precious boy. Yes, absolutely. Debbie C says, Wavy TV News was at the vigil last night. I saw that. I'm going to show that. Okay, so I am very curious about what the hell he wrote in that letter. Because he's been acting quite bizarre, apparently, in jail. I mean, maybe his mental health really is slipping at this point. You know what I mean? But they say Cody's reportedly been stashing medication in his cell. He's been seeing children tapping on the window. He's been hearing voices. He said there's a machine in his head telling him to do crazy things. But there's a psychologist that says that when he interviewed him, Cody said he has had no such experiences and has never received psychiatric treatment in his life. Let's hope Dr. Lewis doesn't enter the room. Oh, my word. That will not go well, guys. Victoria Alford, thank you so much. Oh, my word. You say thank you for being you. That's so cute. And thank you for your $20 super sticker. I really appreciate your support. Oh, my word. Yes. And you can see he's lost a lot of weight. And he's aged a lot too, huh? Sure. That is a hard 44, huh? Sure. Yes, and T and Wildflower says he probably wrote it to look incompetent, and Algoma One says he needs Dr. Lewis. Don't go. I know. Oh, please not, please not. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And Jean says he's being haunted by his neglected babies. He looks so different. I was like, whoa, are we sure this is the same guy? I had to do a side-by-side and be like, wait, what? So, yes, and if you can share... like and share hashtag Codi Bigsby. That would be very helpful as well. It helps categorize it all on social media. So if anyone wants to catch up on the case, or if they didn't know about these new charges or anything, they can find it all in one place. Yes, Pernille says horde. It's a horde 44, that guy. Look at him. Oh my word. He is so adorable. Like, this case, it's very heartbreaking. So, yes. Okay. Let me show you this. They say Cody... Okay, Cory Bigsby's family holds press conference about there was a $25,000 reward that they'd set up. I just want to make sure that this is the last slide. Just hold on 1 second. Yes, okay. Okay. I'm just going to show you this clip here. Make it nice and big for you. And then I'll show you the vigil as well. Okay. Let's hope this plays.
If we knew, if we had any idea where Cody was, we wouldn't be here today.
Family members of Cody Bigsby say they are growing tired of waiting for answers.
For the police chief to come out and say, for those who claim to love Cody, if they would give us more information, like how much more information do you need if we've done everything you've asked us to do? It's not fair.
Hampton police say Cody's father, Cory Bigsby, reported the 4-year-old missing on January 31st. Almost 6 months later, the Bigsby family and the Hampton Roads community still have no clear indication as to what happened. Now, the family with the company Unleashed Entertainment are offering $25,000 for anyone who has information on Cody's whereabouts or what led up to his disappearance. Cory's uncle says they are offering the reward months later because they want to reach more people.
We need to get this out of Hampton. As long as it's just in Hampton news, in the area of Hampton, only Hamptons know, only Hampton is dealing with it the way the law in Hampton want to deal with it. But once it get outside of Hampton, then changes can be made.
Cory's family members say they believe Cody is still alive and hope this reward will create more.
So imagine how devastating this news was, because Cory's family is really fighting for Cory. You know, they are defending Cory. They're saying this is a setup, or they're pinning on him. They just can't believe this and all of that. So, yes, Carla Q says, this happened in the city next to my town. I used to work for the Hampton PD, and I can tell you this is one of the most heartbreaking criminal events to happen there. The population is about 140,000. Thank you so much, Carla Q, for your input as well. I totally understand. It is absolutely heartbreaking. Let's just hear the last bit of this clip, and then I'm going to get to some more of your comments there.
Incentive for someone to come forward. And Cody's father.
Oh, sorry. That was it for that clip that I wanted to show you. Now, the next one is this one here, which is a vigil that they've had candlelight vigils throughout. Someone also asked earlier, how long has Cory been in jail? Well, since he reported Cody missing, because he was arrested immediately. He was taken in for questioning, and then the polygraph test, and held there for apparently 4 days, from what I'm understanding, and then charged with the neglect charges, right? So he's been in jail since January, or since early Feb, right? So January 31st, basically, the questioning started. So from February the 3rd, 2022. Kraken Creative Studio says they are tired of waiting. If your son would tell us what he did with his child, nobody would be waiting. Yeah. So he is, of course, innocent or proven guilty in a court of law. What I can say is, sometimes, right, families are in denial. Now, I'm not saying it's this case here. I'm just saying sometimes it can be really hard to even imagine that anything like this can happen. But I worry about the neighbor saying the kids never played outside. He never saw them. He once saw them, in the window there. The neighbor's account is quite interesting as well. The spelling is C-O-D-I. C-O-D-I, yes. So, yeah, all over social media, especially in the beginning as well. It was with a Y, then with an I, and then the dad's name is Cory, and it can get quite confusing. But C-O-D-I, Cody. All right, so let's look at this clip here.
Night, right in front of the Cody fence, a candlelight vigil honoring and remembering the life of the young boy. Since he was reported missing last year, many have held out hope that he would be found and found alive. However, after recent news from a grand jury, I'm told what used to be vigils held to be hopeful of finding him are now memorials. The 4-year-old was reported missing from Hampton on January 31st of last year, and in the years since, people along the East Coast, like Nancy Strickland, made it their mission to search for the young boy.
There's been a tremendous amount of searches for Cody. Monday will be 3 weeks that we went to Maryland, Capitol Heights, Maryland, to put out flyers to bring awareness there.
However, on Thursday, Cody's father, Cory, was charged in the death of his son. The news shocked and devastated those who hoped Cody would be found alive.
You can see that in this case as well, yes, Tracy says kids never playing outside, red flag fiesta. Absolutely. And here as well, they're putting blue candles down and blue lights. And Cody apparently really liked Spider-Man. So if you want to share some blue hearts as well in this case, I'm still wearing my blue heart. This one I bought in honor of Gannon's stuff. And Gannon's, you know how Gabby Petito's family says her light remains? I feel like all these cases that we cover, like Gannon's light remains. And I quite like that the blue heart connects so many cases as well. We saw Madeline Kingsbury's case as well, with the blue lights and the blue hearts, and in this case as well. It's nice. Yes. Okay. So let's continue on.
It came across my phone the other day. I literally just about passed out because I was so devastated. Deep in my heart, I knew, but it was never confirmed. And once I got that confirmation that, you know, that he had been indicted on murder charges, and I was like, oh God, no. I broke down, I cried.
A candlelight vigil held by the organization We Are Cody's Voice spurred from the news. Many have rallied together since his disappearance, despite not knowing the young boy. Nancy says her connection to Cody comes from her being a mother and a grandmother.
And then I looked at that sweet face, that innocent face, those eyes. He touched my heart and he grabbed a hold of it, and it hasn't stopped.
Shame. That's Nancy Strickland, you guys. She's been organizing a lot of these vigils and Cody's fence and everything. It's really sweet. Estelle Pretorius from South Africa, where I'm from. ZAR means South African rands. Thank you so much. 350 rand. Thank you. You make a huge difference. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. Okay.
She also says this isn't the end of her search for Cody.
I still will search for Cody Bigsby. And I hope that my little dude is up there and he's watching and he sees the love that's coming from each and every one of us for him.
You can see there, they said, we love you, Cody. Did you see there? Look at the candles. We love you, Cody. Shame. Okay, just one more time. I want to show you this for anyone who missed it. Just hold on one second. We're going to, I actually do also have the map. There's not much to show, but I can show you the area if you want. I just want to show you this brand new document that dropped. This one. This was such a shock. As you can hear, even from, Nancy, who's been working in the community on this case for so long. She said she nearly passed out when she saw this. So this is the news in this case where they say, in the circuit court for the city of Hampton, June 5th, 2023, the grand jury charges that on or about June 18th, 2021, in the said city, Cory Bigsby Sr. did unlawfully and feloniously transport, secret, conceal, or alter a dead body as defined with malicious intent, and to prevent detection of an unlawful act, or to prevent detection of the death or the manner or cause of death in violation of the Code of Virginia as amended. This was dated June the 5th, 2023. And here they also said Cory Bigsby Sr. unlawfully and feloniously did kill and murder Cody Bigsby in violation of the Code of Virginia as amended. And you see that was on or about June 18th. That's pretty specific. 2021. This also reminds me of the Sincere and Classic Peters case, the West trial that we looked at, right? So Orrin and Orson West, they're both named Sincere and Classic Peters. If you haven't seen my coverage of that, you could just check out the playlist. It's quite recent that I covered that as well. I was summarizing the trial for you. Because that too, they haven't found their bodies, but they were able to charge the adopted parents. And yeah, you can catch them on that case there, but it reminds me of that, right? Where they also reported they're missing like 3 months after they believe they died. Sure, that's so sad. Okay, so let's do some, there's not much to show on the map, but I'll show you the area. Okay, let's do some map time. Okay, and here we are. So this, I'm just going to zoom out so we could see the whole area. Okay, Fort Monroe National Monuments over here. Lady Neptune. I just like to orientate ourselves. Let's see where we're at. Let's zoom out completely like this. Oh, Virginia Beach is here. North Carolina. Maryland up there. Okay, and where they searched, I think where they searched for those animal bones and things, right? Well, they found a blanket with bones in, then they said it was animals. I think that was in Maryland, which is interesting. I wonder if at any time, you know, he drove there. But yeah, at the end of the day, they need to find Cody. Shame. So where he was reported missing from, although 7 months later, was around these Buckroe Point apartment townhomes. So they say the 100 block. So that's like all of this. So I could put the little man there if you want. Could put him there. Have a look around. Okay. Nice area. Just hold on. I'll make it bigger for you. Buckle up. Stefan will tell you. Buckle up, everyone. Gee, it's driving now. Ooh, and I've just gone over my own face. There we go. Wait. There we go. Good. Okay. So we're looking around now. So in this area. So I'm Not T-Pain says the kids not playing outside is not necessarily a red flag. I kind of disagree because I know they were twins. They were 2 years old. Okay, they're a little young to play outside, but then a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, like never outside. Never. It looks pretty safe. It looks pretty nice, right? I know you can't assume, but I'm like, damn. And just crying all the time. They heard them crying all the time. So this is in Hampton, Virginia. So we're looking there. And the other point that I have on the map, in case you wondered, is actually where Cory had bought a, well, I don't know if he bought it. Okay, they were set to move that very day that he reported Cody missing. He was set to move to this Burns Street apartment. So that's an odd decision. And maybe he thought, oh crap, like if he's gonna have to move, I don't know, if he thought maybe someone will notice then that Cody's missing at that point, so he might as well report him missing now. It's a bit odd, right? Like, we don't want criminals to be smart, and he's innocent or proven guilty either way. But one would think you move there and then then reporting missing would have been a smarter move, but don't do that. We're not teaching criminals here. Oh, hell no. No, thank you. Thank you for all the puck-ups that they make, right? Yes, Lizbeth K says crying all the time, red flag. Yeah, crying all the time. That's what the neighbor said. If you missed the clip, I hope you'll check it out again on the replay. So, A. Heinemann says people in apartments often take kids to a park instead. The grass at apartments often have dog poo everywhere. Okay, I don't think they ever saw them go out. And I mean, he's been charged with 30 counts of child neglect. And based on what they went into the house and saw and found, they carried out bags of evidence. They immediately took all the kids and handed them over to CPS. So I'm thinking there were a couple of red flags in the house, you know? Yes. So yeah, you guys want to see water around this area? Captain Kids Child Care Center. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of water all around the area there. There's a lot of water here too. There's a lot of water, you guys. I just want to see Maryland, which way now? Oh, there's Richmond. Okay. We're looking around now. Gloucester is up here. Anyone from this area? I think there's a few. Debbie is in chat. You're from this area, right? Vanessa O said, didn't Cody's mom ever wonder why she hadn't heard his voice in all that time? Did she ever contact the children? It doesn't sound like it. I'm not sure. And I guess we'll know more from when the trial happens. What I'm going to do is keep you guys posted in what happens, what happens at the hearing on Wednesday. If I had to take a wild guess, I would assume he's going to be found not fit to stand trial, right? That's how these things go. I'm thinking so, especially if there's any truth in what he's experiencing at the moment, which is seeing children tapping on the window and hearing voices in his head and writing all kinds of weird things that the attorney's like, whoa, seal that letter up, all of that kind of stuff, right? Sweet Dream says, could you drive around? But I don't even know where to drive around. Where? There's so many directions to go. I would be here for hours because I'd want to go everywhere, all over the place. Anyone local? Can you drive around? Yes. Thank you. Maryland is right above. North Carolina is close below. Yeah, I just wonder. Well, that's where they went to look. And I mean, the FBI went there and everything. So I was like, I wonder if Maryland has anything, maybe if someone's from that area also, of course, keep an eye out. There it is. Okay. Baltimore. Yeah, Little Miss Madhead says she wasn't in their life that much. Doesn't sound like it. She's stationed in Washington, D.C. She's in the Army. Rebecca Wiley, welcome to membership. I hope that you'll check out yesterday's live stream. It was almost 2 hours. Yes, we had a great members-only live stream yesterday. So, by the way, if you guys ever wonder, where is she? Check Patreon. Check the members-only live streams and videos, because I'm always doing something. It's very rare that I'm not doing anything on YouTube. And I have a second channel too. I wasn't there yesterday or the day before, but I'm there too, okay? Yes, okay. So, yeah, where would this is what they want to know though. So if anyone knows the father, they want to know where would he go? What's familiar to him? That's exactly what the police have asked for. So go and check out the previous press conferences. As I say, I'm not going to play them all now because they will be here forever. And even though you say don't go, we don't want to make it too long either for replay watchers. You know, it's like 4-hour stream. No, we're going through it. We've gone through the clips. So go and check out those press conferences and you'll see the police are like, please tell us, what are his movements? Where does he go? What are his habits? It seems like he was pretty isolated with those kids. Like not many people called or visited or checked on them or anything like that. So they're not too sure what he would have done or where he would have gone. I just really want to check one more here, which is Norfolk, Virginia. How far is that? Oh, that's not too bad, right? That's not too far, but okay. Burns Street, and because he went there to buy a car and left the kids alone in December of 2021 for a couple of hours. So I don't know if this would be an area to check as well. Yes, it reminds me of the West case as well. Yes, indeed. So everyone, that's it for now. Thank you so much for following this case with me. This is the first time I'm covering it on my channel, even though, as I say, I've been following along as it's happened. Just want to put his face here. Oh man, oh no. Like, do you recognize the picture? If you didn't know about this case today, did you at least ever see this picture? Because shame. Sure, it's just unthinkable. I don't know what happened to him, but it's a very sad outcome now that they say the father's been charged with his murder and from 7 months before. So I hope you all caught up. Hope I did a good job of bringing you as many updates as possible in one comprehensive live stream, all in one place. And the next hearing, as I say, Wednesday. Let's see what happens from that. If there's anything to report back on, I will report it. Make sure you also check my YouTube shorts because sometimes I share updates there, or check my community tab because sometimes I share updates on there as well. Objection Cake, thank you for being a member for 4 months. And thank you to everyone who supported the channel with super stickers today. Thank you to those who are buying coffees and sending PayPals. I see them and I will be replying to you. Thank you so much. I always send you guys a special message back. So thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. And if you are not yet part of Patreon, please go over there because number one, it's a much better source of support. And number two, you'll get notifications for all live streams like this so you don't miss out, because I know YouTube can sometimes suck with notifications. So man, if you could share hashtag Codi Bigsby, and the spelling is C-O-D-I, Codi Bigsby. And his little shirt says inspire. Shame. Okay, well, stay safe, everyone, and I will see you all again very soon. Happy Sunday, depending on when you're watching this. Happy weekend to you. I'm sure I've got lots of a busy season ahead, as always. There's lots of things always happening. Unfortunately, true crime never sleeps. Yes. So make sure you look after your mental health, and make sure you look after yourself. Stay safe as well, okay, you and your family. And I'll see you again very soon. Brett says, great stuff as usual, G. Many thanks. Thank you so much, Brett. I really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing blue hearts, everyone. That's very sweet. Okay, bye, everyone.